Wonder over Yonder. This show had 2 episodes that centered around Halloween, kind of, but mostly Christmas. These 2 episodes were released 2 months apart in 2014, with The Gift 2, The Giftening, was released during the Halloween season, while episode 1 of The Gift was released in December. And it was mainly in the point of view of the villains in episode 2, while part 1 is on the point of view of the main characters. So if you saw part 2 in the point of view of Lord Hater and his minions, it's a showcase that he really wants nothing to do with love nor giving, and with the type of character that Wando is, I'm really convinced that he is basically like SpongeBob, which, honestly, I'm probably gonna have a difficult time enjoying this show due to those elements, but I still can't judge him from these 2 episodes alone if the other episodes showcase more of his character and his growth, which could be difficult to believe, but when I'm interested in this show, possibly, then maybe I may see something in him that other people do. With his goal spreading happiness to everyone, including Lord Hater and the Watchdogs, I'm always convinced that he is basically everyone who is really passionate during the Christmas season, which, truth be told, I would have loved this episode more if I watched it before my happiness went away, but I have to admit that it's kind of difficult for him to say no towards anyone, especially his enemy. But at the same time, this also gave me vibes of SpongeBob helping Squidward gain a gift, and even though what Wando did wasn't in the same ways as SpongeBob, as in SpongeBob did it before he got Flounder Eyes, but since what I've witnessed from Yonder doing all this for the sake of giving everyone a gift, and for how Lord Hater is doing everything to get away from him, it probably works when you have character names that are simple, and with how simple the names are, the personality somewhat fits the execution. I'm just saying, I can see for a fact that whenever I witness Wanda in this episode when it comes to part 2, with it being my first time witnessing it, without part 1, then this episode would have been difficult to find enjoyment out of. Just by seeing the Watchdogs, who are the peoples because they have eyes as their heads, they fell in love with any gift that they get and they just can't resist it. This world is a lot more simple, unlike Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends or even the Powerpuff Girls. Because I think that the only elements that this show has when it comes to the Powerpuff Girls is basically superpowers, if superpowers exist in this world. But from the way I see it, it's mainly different creatures when it comes to the locations that Wanda goes to, and since that most of the episodes, mainly both, are taking place in outer space, which the Powerpuff Girls did went to outer space numerous of times, it's a possibility, for me at least, that there are multiple planets in this show, if it's not on one planet when it comes to different creatures. Because if that is really the case, then I'm really convinced that Wanda really had the ability when it comes to his friend going to different locations non-stop without even getting a breather, since Wanda really wasted little time on going to places in order to give people so many gifts, and when it comes to Lord Hater, he really has no roadblocks whatsoever in his way. Wanda's friend Sylvia takes Wando to different places, and it's been established in one clip. Well, she takes Wando to different locations, and especially it's shown in the thumbnail of this review. And what she accomplished in the end of part 1 when it comes to her turning the tables, when it comes to the peoples or watchdogs sending gifts to people, and this backfires on Lord Hato, since the original intent was to give him what he really wanted in the point of view of Wando. Honestly, this episode really knew how to wrap it up without having a disappointing or depressing ending. So, with how this episode, along with part 2, is structured, I'm always convinced that this show's purpose is to showcase of what Wando can do, and in this episode, there's probably going to be a lot going on with Wando when I get the chance to watch more of this show. While I don't like Wando, I'm still on the consideration on whether if he's going to be a likable Disney Channel character. Because since I have other favorite Disney Channel characters, it's probably going to be my experiences with this show. So it's a possibility that this could grow on me, but then again, as of now, not really. And that is something that I should have learned when it comes to getting into a new cartoon based off of its holiday episodes. So with that, I'm giving The Gift and The Gift 2, The Giftening, an 8 out of 10.